Another legend in the field. Johnny Parker was born in 1947 in Greenville, South Carolina. His interest in strength training came at an early age. When Parker was in the 9th grade, his football coach had a set of weights in his backyard and would let some of his athletes come over and lift. The young Parker had to have help lifting the bar on most exercises, but with the encouragement of a patient coach, he soon began to improve. Upon graduating from high school in 1964, Parker went to Ole Miss. He graduated in 1968 and took his first coaching job shortly thereafter at a private high school in Mississippi called Indianola Academy. In 1974, the University of South Carolina hired Parker. After just one season of working with Parker, the Gamecocks made it to the Tangerine Bowl in 1975. Parker spent 3 seasons with the University of South Carolina before moving on to Indiana University in 1977, where he was the first strength and conditioning coach in the Big Ten. After 2 seasons of working with the Hoosiers, Parker was hired as the head strength and conditioning coach at Louisiana State University during the 1980 season. Returning to his alma mater, Ole Miss, Parker spent 4 more seasons coaching in the collegiate field, working with head football coach Billy Brewer. Parker helped the Rebels make it to the Independence Bowl in 1983, their first bowl appearance in 8 years. Twice during the 1980s, Parker went to Russia to study under Russian gold medal winning Olympic weightlifting coaches. He took what he learned from these masters and applied it to his football players. Also during the 1980s, Parker earned a master's degree from Delta State University. Johnny began his NFL career in 1984 when the New York Giants hired him as their head strength and conditioning coach. Parker worked with the Giants for 9 years. In his first year as strength coach, Parker dropped the number of athletes on the injured list to 7. A remarkable number when compared to the staggering 25 injured athletes on the list the year before. 2 years after Coach Parker's arrival in New York in 1986, the Giants won their first Super Bowl. The season has been called the Giants' greatest season ever because of their 17-2 record. In 1993, Parker moved on to coach the New England Patriots under the head coach Bill Parcells. In the 7 seasons he spent with the Patriots, Parker's skill helped the team launch a new era of Patriot football. Johnny Parker's strength training program was most definitely a factor in the Patriots' success. In an interview with a local newspaper, Parker spoke about his program. Think about it. Offensive linemen. What do? They basically run 2-yard sprints. Everything they do is quick bursts. So that's the kind of weight training we try to do with them. Explosive movements. After a stint in the private sector, Parker returned to coaching in 2002 when he was hired by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers head coach John Gruden. Just 1 year later, in 2003, the Buccaneers headed to their first Super Bowl in team history. After just 1 year of coaching the Buccaneers, Parker returned to the private sector. Then in 2005, Parker was hired by the San Francisco 49ers. Parker's no-nonsense approach to strength training quickly gained a reputation among his players. He didn't have any favorites, and he was consistently hard on everybody. That's why I love Johnny Parker. That was former 49er lineman Anthony Adams. Parker retired from coaching last year. In his impressive 34-year coaching career, Parker succeeded in taking 3 different teams to 4 Super Bowls. In 1994, he was honored by the Professional Football Strength and Conditioning Coaches Society with the Super Bowl Achievement Award. Coach Parker has now retired to Safety Harbor, Florida, where he spends his time with his wife Jane and plays with his dogs Tuna and Fruitcake. He enjoys sitting on his porch and reading all the books he never had a chance to read while coaching and traveling the world.